Thank you for joining me for today's Tuesday takeaway class, and I am Northern Stamper. My name is Tina Kavrikich. If you have any questions, please drop me an email at northernstamper@gmail.com. I'm so excited to have you here today, and we are going to be using some of the Designer Series paper from the Hostess set. And I just love this because it pairs so nicely with the Blackberry Bliss that we're going to be using today. So we have our items listed out here. And what we're going to start with is actually the card base. So let's start with that. And I'm just going to place these all off to the side. And we are going to get started. And we are going to do a little bit of scoring first. And what we want to do, this card is going to be portrait. We are going to score it at 5.5. So let's do that and get that started with our trimmer. Okay, so I'm going to place it in and I'm going to score at 5.5. Okay, so there we go. We have that. Don't put your trimmer too far away because we do need this. We're going to turn it around and then this is going to become the bottom part and we're going to just fold it up like that. So at this moment, you may be wondering what the heck kind of card is that, but trust me, it's going to look fantastic. Let's bring in our piece of Designer Series paper. Very, very pretty. So what we are going to do is we are going to do a little bit of scoring on this also, and it will be hidden behind one of the pieces of basic white. So what we want to do is I'm going to take it down, and some of this will be glued down, so we will do that in a minute. So what I'm going to do is actually I want a little bit of it kind of tucked underneath, so where the flap is, so just a little bit, so maybe just even 1/2 inch, and you're going to see up here is where we're going to score it. So I'm going to take a little pencil, or if you're really good, you can just score it straight off. And I'm going to make a little mark on where I'm going to put my score mark. And there we go. So I can pull that off, and I'm just going to make a little score along that mark, put it in the track, and score it along. Okay, I'm going to fold this over. And the reason I wanted to make this card is so I can show both sides of the Designer Series paper. And this is going to look really, really good when we're done. Okay, so what I want to do is I got this piece of basic white. I'm not going to glue it all down yet, but I want to see how it all nicely fits together. It fits really good together on the left and the right. Okay, I'm going to lay it down. And I like to lay things down before I glue it. So it's going to be glued. It's going to go a little bit under the Designer Series paper. I don't want it glued. So it's going to go together like that for the moment. Fantastic, looks great, fits well. So let's add some adhesive onto the back of the Designer Series paper. I like to tape it down first so things don't get lost. And what I'm going to do is just pull it over and add some adhesive underneath, okay, to the back so it doesn't get lost. And what I'm going to do now is actually just totally glue down this piece to the inside card base. Okay, so we're going to do that. And I'm going to have a nice frame all the way around. There we go. And there we go. So I'd like to do this so that I don't miss or lose any of the pieces as I'm creating. Sometimes that happens. I'll put it down and put something on top and I lose it. Now, we are not quite done. There are another piece of Designer Series paper that we have here. Now this is a little bit larger. And I did that on purpose because I didn't know if you wanted to add it really long or what. Or did you want to score it and fold it over? It is totally up to you. You can cut it and just glue it down so it has a nice little frame all the way around. Up to you. Or you can place it on and fold it over. It is up to you again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it down and I'm going to fold it over. Everybody has a different choice. Oh, geez, that's what happens when you turn it over. See? Okay. Everybody's got a different choice, and These papers are fantastic. So this comes from the Hostess set. So when you purchase or say you're having a in-home party and you reach 300 and some odd dollars in sales, you can purchase this for $24. It is a great pack to get. It's filled with so many pieces of designer series paper. You don't want to miss that. So I folded it over, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it onto the underside. Okay, put a little bit of glue there to hold it down. Now in your package there was some gold ribbon, and all I'm going to do is put some of that gold ribbon, I'm going to tape it around, and I'm going to tape it further down closer to the scoring edge, because that is the portion that I'm actually going to end up taping down. Now I'm not going to do glue on the whole piece because you're going to see why. So I'm going to add a little bit of tape to hold it in. Okay, I'm going to wrap it around along the bottom. There we go. Oh, maybe that's a little bit too far, too close. We'll bring it up a little bit. That's why I like to use the tape. Easy to reposition. So I'm going to bring this around. Okay, and I'm going to cut it off, and I'm going to use that excess piece to make my bow. Okay, tape that around the edge. There we go. Add a little piece of adhesive tape. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape this portion right here. I'm not going to add the tape to the very top. You don't want to do that because then you can't flip it under like a matchbook. So I'm going to put it right underneath where the score line is, and I'm going to carefully bring it over. Okay, so that is the bottom. The reason I didn't want to do the tape is so that this can tuck in and be held down. Okay, so there we go. Got a little bit of that. Might have to add a little bit more because it's popping up. So let's add a little bit more. Oh, that tape is coming up. Okay. And I'll go right along the edge. I'm going to add a little bit to the white. I really want that to stick well. Okay, there. Now we got it sticking well. And I can tuck it in like a little matchbox. There we go. There we go. Fold it up. Okay, now this is coming together really well. What I want to do is get my little piece of ribbon, and I'm going to make a little bow. You can make a bow or a little knot. I like the little knot so I can slide it around. Okay, here we go. Put it on there like that. Now, this looks fantastic. Now, what we can do is we can add a little bit of a sentiment on here. You can, if you have some other stuff that you want to add behind it, cardstock, etc., to make it pop, that is totally up to you. What may look really nice is to get some green with a punch with some sprigs and add that around. So those are some really great ideas on what we could do if you like. Or you can go through your package or your own items and look what you can add to your sentiment tag. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be doing some stamping on this to make it stand out a little bit. And I may use some blending brushes and to add some green. So let's go get our ink and see what we can do. Okay, what I'm going to do is I am going to be using some of the stamps from the Biggest Wishes. I really like how these words, I've used them so many times. The font on this I think is really nice, and that's what I'm going to be using. I've picked up some ink. I'm going to be using some of the sentiments in Blackberry Bliss and Pear Pizzazz. And I also have my blending brush, and I'm going to be blending a little bit of the edge around. Okay, so let's get our little tag, and I'm going to use a little bit of Blackberry. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do one on each side and see which one I like the best. So I'm going to get a little bit of Pear Pizzazz because I have my green blending brush there. And I will put some on, a little bit on to the paper. And I'm going to carefully put a little bit around the edge. we go. There we go. Okay, that looks good, and I'm going to put it on and see, do I like, hey, that actually looks really good. I can flip it over and actually do the purple on the other side, and let's see which one we like the best. So I'm going to be using the purple brush. I've got a purple brush here that I have. A little bit off on the edge, again, around. Ooh, that's really pretty dark, but let's see how it turns out on our, against the card. I think I'm kind of liking the green, but everybody is different. So let's bring back in our card, and let's see. I think I do like the subtleness of the green on the other side, and that's what I think I'm going to go with. Okay, so let's put those off to the side, clean up our space. And I am going to stamp Hello Friend. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stamp with two different colors. So what I'm going to do is start with the darkest color. And let us do that. Hello. Hello. Oh, that looks really good on the green. Oh, sorry, don't mean to shake ya. And the next one we are going to place on is, actually, I'm going to do double stamping. So I'm going to use the purple again with the word friend, but I'm going to stamp off first. And if I did that, yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Stamp off one, and then I'm going to put this one on top. So it's the same color, but a little bit lighter. That looks really good. And you know what I think I'm going to do is pull up from another stamp some little leaves that I can do around. And Nature's Prints have actually some really good ones like around the edge here, so I'm going to use that. All right, so let's get some Pear Pizzazz going on there. And I'm going to use a bit of this fern on around the edge. So pull that out. There we go. Now I wonder if I did that double stamping or triple stamping. One, how many times? 2, 3. Oh yeah, so 2 and 3 is actually look really good. So there's 1, 2, 3. Oh, that looks really good. I think I'm just going to leave it like that. Oh, no, I can't. Oh, I'm getting taken away here. There we go. That looks really cool. There we go. That looks really cool. Love it. Don't be afraid to try things. You never know how it's going to turn out. And worst case, look, it's got another side. It's fantastic. Okay, so let's add that to our card here. Now, it depends on where you want to place it. You can place it right here if you want and use it like a little hold down. If you have this as a punch, you can punch another color and have it as a frame around. And I think that's actually what I want to do. I think I want a little bit of frame around it. In the package, it may not be in there, but the color of this cardstock is Blackberry Bliss. So I'm going to go grab some of that and let's see what we can do. So I got some Blackberry Bliss. Now what you could do is just have it as a square behind and it would look just really fine by itself. It would look really good. I am going to use the punch, and this is the punch that I had. It is still in the catalog. Punch it out. Here we go. Whoop. And I'm going to tuck it in behind, off to the side a little bit so it kind of pops up. There we go. I think I really like that, and it's going to look really good. So let's add some glue onto that and glue that down. Okay, I'm going to offset it a little bit to have the Blackberry Bliss on the color. I'm going to add a little bit of glue on the very bottom because I want it to sit on that kind of little flap. So I'm going to tuck it down. There we go. And there we go. And what you may want to do is add a little bit of gems and whatever to add some bling. And there you go. You can look on the top and the bottom. Looks really good with that white on there, doesn't it? So I'm going to just tuck it in, and that is like a little matchbook kind of card. Love it. I think it looks great. The designer series paper for the Hostess set is definitely something you want to grab. It is a great, great package of designer series papers. Very pretty, especially if you love Blackberry Bliss. So let me know. Oh, don't forget, add some Wink of Stella and some little, some bling. And there you go. A fantastic looking card. This is great, great if you want to show off the back side of the designer series paper. So don't forget to post how your card turned out. I'd love to see it.